On August 7th, the Taiwan-owned Pacific department store located in Shanghai's commercial district Xujiahui announced it would cease operations on August 31st due to the expiration of its joint venture agreement this year. This means that the Pacific department store, a landmark in Shanghai for 30 years, is officially drawing its curtains. Opening its doors in Xujiahui in 1993, the store was once a prime attraction in the golden commercial district of Xujiahui, becoming a popular landmark in Shanghai. However, in recent years, with the rise of e-commerce and transformative changes in consumer behaviors, traditional brick-and-mortar brands face significant challenges. The 3-year-long pandemic, especially the CCP's zero-COVID policy, was the last straw for many physical retailers. After the policy, China did not experience the expected rebound in consumption. Instead, an economic downturn, soaring unemployment, and muted consumer spending made it hard for these already high-cost stores to continue. Bureau of Statistics of China revealed that the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, for July decreased by 0.3% year-on-year, marking the first decline in over 2 years. The Producer Price Index, or PPI, fell by 4.4%, declining for the 10th consecutive month. Before the release of the CPI and PPI data, on August 8th, China's General Administration of Customs reported that both imports and exports shrank in July. This was accompanied by a dramatic plunge in real estate prices, plummeting corporate profits, and other negative factors. Some analysts suggest that these numbers indicate that China's economy is now facing deflation, while others argue it's already in a recession. Contrary to the post-COVID consumption surge seen in most developed countries, China's suppressed consumer demand has not shown the anticipated sustained rebound. Instead, after a brief recovery, spending remains sluggish, with ordinary people reluctant to spend and businesses hesitant to reinvest. This is setting off a dangerous downward spiral. If consumers hold back, goods don't sell. Companies might be forced to cut prices to survive, reducing factory profits, leading to layoffs or pay cuts, which in turn reduces the country's overall income. Lower incomes then further suppress consumer spending. These are increasing signs that deflationary pressures are impacting Chinese businesses, with many compelled to reduce prices. As reported by Bloomberg, Nie Xingquan, the head of the Italy Elsina Group Co. in Guangzhou, China, stated that after the Chinese government finally relaxed its strict 3-year pandemic prevention measures, he hoped sales of his handcrafted leather shoes would bounce back. However, with demand remaining low, he had to reduce prices by 3%. Nie said that his clients are primarily domestic retailers and consumers. Since February, the company's performance has been declining. Many have yet to recover from the pandemic's impact, with numerous retailers not placing new orders, trying instead to sell off accumulated stock. Everyone is hanging on by a thread, squeezing profits to the minimum to survive, said Nie. Lower consumer spending, besides leading to a rash of store closures, has also affected the dining industry in China. Many restaurants can't break even, driving their owners close to the edge, often with no choice but to close down. People are tightening their belts, cutting back on expenses. This has triggered a brutal price war in the food and beverage sector, with offers like pizzas for 9.90 yuan or $1.36, full meals for 10 yuan, $1.38, and bring your own cup for free coffee. Offers like these are becoming increasingly common. Recently, a report by Reuters has caught everyone's attention. In Beijing, the Nanchengxiang chain restaurant launched a 3 yuan or 40 US cents breakfast buffet promotion in May. For just 3 yuan, consumers can have unlimited soy milk, normal milk, century egg porridge, and millet porridge. According to the staff, since the introduction of this affordable breakfast in May, the restaurant has been packed every morning. However, Joey Watt, CEO of Yum China, told Reuters, while foot traffic has recovered, the average spend has declined. In Beijing, the hamburger chain Xi Shaoye has advertised price cuts, with staff claiming some products could be priced as low as 10 yuan or $1.38. KFC is attracting customers with a 19.9 yuan or $2.75 combo of a burger, snack, and drink. Analysts point out that the price wars amongst China's low-end chain restaurants could push smaller businesses out of the market. As witnessed in Japan during the 1990s, deflation, if prolonged, can suppress economic growth. Professor Xie Tian of the Icahn School of Business at the University of South Carolina has analyzed that the dual decline in CPI and PPI in July signifies a major issue. China's economy is in a severe recession. A decline in the CPI essentially indicates weakened consumption. Chinese consumers either don't have money, are unwilling to spend, or are afraid to spend. Weak consumption leads to price drops, which affects businesses' confidence. When businesses lack confidence or orders, their purchase of production materials diminishes, leading to a decrease in the PPI. And since the PPI is a forward-looking economic indicator revealing the future investment and production situation of producers, it reflects issues that might arise 3 to 6 months down the line. So, a decline in PPI essentially means that not only is China's economy in a recession, but it might also be heading for a prolonged downturn. Contrary to the lag in consumption, China's savings have soared. Data shows that by the end of June, China's household deposits reached a record 132.2 trillion yuan, or around 18.4 trillion US dollars, equivalent to over 30 months of retail sales. In the first half of the year, it increased by 12 trillion yuan, 1.66 trillion US dollars, a growth rate hitting a decade high. Latest official data reveals that during the first quarter of the year, China's various financial institutions issued long-term time deposits, certificate of deposits or CDs, worth 5.5 trillion yuan, approximately 766 billion US dollars, marking the largest quarterly issuance since the introduction of this product in 2015. Reuters reported that this year, despite lower interest rates, many companies have joined the savings movement and are taking out CDs, exacerbating the drag on China's economy. This effectively means that both corporations and households are hoarding cash rather than investing or consuming, mirroring the typical liquidity trap that plagued Japan since the 1990s. To the CCP government, the significant contradiction between weak consumer spending and a sharp increase in savings poses a concern. The government wishes its citizens would increase their consumption. As a result, a series of policies to stimulate consumption have been introduced recently. On July 28th, the General Office of the State Council of China forwarded measures from the National Development and Reform Commission, titled Measures for Reviving and Expanding Consumption. These measures covered 6 aspects: bulk consumption, service consumption, rural consumption, new types of consumption, consumption facilities, and the consumption environment. In total, there were 20 measures addressing large-scale consumables like cars and housing, as well as service consumables such as dining and cultural tourism. On July 31st, at the State Council's press conference, Li Chunlin, the Deputy Director of the National Development and Reform Commission, emphasized that stimulating consumption is crucial for current demand recovery and expansion. However, many analysts believe that these 20 measures won't address the fundamental issues. The reluctance of Chinese people to spend isn't solely due to reduced income or lack of disposable funds. Even those with money are hesitant to spend, given the various uncertainties they face regarding the future. The Chinese save with the future in mind. Some scholars argue that to truly boost consumption-led growth, there are 3 key measures. First, reduce the educational competition, alleviating parental anxieties and pressures so they don't need to save up for education. Second, address the issue of free healthcare for all, ensuring that people don't need to save for potential medical expenses. And third, solve pension issues, ensuring both rural and urban citizens receive retirement funds, integrating workers and farmers, and providing cradle-to-grave support to alleviate end-of-life concerns. Once these concerns are addressed, there would be no significant reason to save, and consumption would naturally rise. In response to the Chinese authorities' release of what many consider hollow and unsubstantial documents, netizens mockingly commented, "This is amazing, look." While the US encourages consumption by distributing dollars to its citizens, and Japan gives yen to promote spending, we promote consumption by releasing the 20 measures to revive and expand consumption. All the policies and documents are out there, so what are we waiting for? Why not rush out with these papers and start consuming?
Some experts have thrown another challenge at the people. These experts are saying that we regular folks are hoarding money in the bank instead of spending it. Well, experts, take a look around. There are hardly any places left on the streets to buy things. It's nearly 12 p.m. now, and still, no one's opening their shops. What's going on? Not even a handful of shops on this street have their doors open. So experts, where do you think all these shop owners have gone? It's not that the regular folks don't want to spend. Experts, you need to see it for yourself. These shop owners can't keep their businesses afloat anymore. They're all closing down shop. Everywhere you look, shop owners are fleeing. We, the regular folks, struggle to afford medical care and education for our kids. If we don't save even a little money, we won't be able to afford medical treatments in the future. We can't just spend money recklessly. Do you even realize how tough it is for us, the regular folks? Go to the hospital without money, and they'll immediately stop your treatment and medications. Day by day, we don't hear any experts solving the problems of the common people. They just focus on the little money in our pockets.